He who learns must suffer. And even in our sleep pain that cannot forget falls drop by drop upon the heart, and in our own despair, against our will, comes wisdom to us by the awful grace of God. Memory is the mother of all wisdom. It is in the character of very few men to honor without envy a friend who has prospered. I have learned to hate all traitors, and there is no disease that I spit on more than treachery. There is no sickness worse for me than words that to be kind must lie. There are times when fear is good. It must keep its watchful place at the heart's controls. It is not the oath that makes us believe the man, but the man the oath. You have been trapped in the inescapable net of ruin by your own want of sense. Death is easier than a wretched life, and better never to have borne than to live and fare badly. What is there more kindly than the feeling between host and guest? For the poison of hatred seated near the heart doubles the burden for the one who suffers the disease. He is burdened with his own sorrow, and groans on seeing another's happiness. By polluting clear water with slime you will never find good drinking water. It is easy when we are in prosperity to give advice to the afflicted, who, except the gods, can live time through forever without any pain. What atonement is there for blood spilt upon the earth? In every tyrant's heart there springs in the end this poison, that he cannot trust a friend, for the impious act begets more after it, like to the parent stock, and one who is just of his own free will shall not lack for happiness, and he will never come to utter ruin. If you pour oil and vinegar into the same vessel, you would call them not friends but opponents. I say you must not win an unjust case by oaths. Happiness is a choice that requires effort at times. There is no pain so great as the memory of joy in present grief, for there is no defense for a man who, in the excess of his wealth, has kicked the great altar of justice out of sight. The anvil of justice is planted firm, and fate who makes the sword does the forging in advance. Schooled in misery, know many purifying rites, and I know where speech is proper and where silence. The man whose authority is recent is always stern. Search well and be wise, nor believe that self-willed pride will ever be better than good counsel, for this is the mark of a wise and upright man, not to rail against the gods in misfortune. Don't you know this, that words are doctors to a diseased temperament? When strength is yoked with justice, where is a mightier pair than they? The evils of mortals are manifold, nowhere is trouble of the same wing seen. If a man suffers ill, let it be without shame, for this is the only profit when we are dead. You will never say a good word about deeds that are evil and disgraceful. It is an easy thing for one whose foot is on the outside of calamity to give advice and to rebuke the sufferer. The one knowing what is profitable, and not the man knowing many things, is wise. Destiny waits alike for the free man as well as for him enslaved by another's might. If a man suffers ill, let it be without shame, for this is the only profit when we are dead. You will never say a good word about deeds that are evil and disgraceful. It is an easy thing for one whose foot is on the outside of calamity to give advice and to rebuke the sufferer. The one knowing what is profitable, and not the man knowing many things, is wise. Destiny waits alike for the free man as well as for him enslaved by another's might. What exists outside is a man's concern. Let no woman give advice, and do no mischief within doors. In the lack of judgment great harm arises, but one vote cast can set right a house. My friends, whoever has had experience of evils knows how whenever a flood of ills comes upon mortals, a man fears everything, but whenever a divine force cheers on our voyage, then we believe that the same fate will always blow fair. Ah, lives of men! When prosperous they glitter, like a fair picture. When misfortune comes, a wet sponge at one blow has blurred the painting. It is a light thing for whoever keeps his foot outside trouble to advise and counsel him that suffers, who apart from the gods is without pain for his whole lifetime's length, for somehow this disease inheres in tyranny, never to trust one's friends. Alas for the affairs of men! When they are fortunate you might compare them to a shadow, and if they are unfortunate, a wet sponge with one dash wipes the picture away. Self-will in the man who does not reckon wisely is by itself the weakest of all things. Unions in wedlock are perverted by the victory of shameless passion that masters the female among men and beasts. Married love between man and woman is bigger than oaths guarded by right of nature. And though all streams flow from a single course to cleanse the blood from polluted hand, they hasten on their course in vain. A god implants in mortal guilt whenever he wants utterly to confound a house. Neither a life of anarchy nor one beneath a despot should you praise. to all that lies in the middle. A God has given excellence.